The desert wind howled across the ancient Nubian plateau as Layla and her team advanced into lands older than memory. What began as an expedition had transformed into a pilgrimage, a journey not of miles but of revelations. The priest, now known among the team as Amunet, walked with a grace that defied time, his eyes ever scanning the horizon for landmarks only he remembered. Each grain of sand seemed to hold whispers of a forgotten age, and Layla could feel the weight of history pressing against her chest like an invisible force. The clues led them to a crumbling temple buried deep in the canyons, its entrance sealed by time and guarded by divine inscriptions only visible under moonlight. As Amunet chanted softly, the sigils on the stone flickered and parted, revealing a staircase descending into darkness. With torches raised, the team ventured below, stepping into chambers untouched by the world for thousands of years. The air was thick with incense and magic. It clung to their skin and seemed to pulse with its own rhythm. Hieroglyphs on the walls depicted stories never told in history books, tales of an ancient council of guardians who once kept balance between realms. These guardians, known as the Circle of Ma'at, were said to be chosen not for power, but for their wisdom and purity of heart. Amunet revealed that he had once been among them. It was his betrayal, not by choice but by manipulation, that led to the fall of the order and the hiding of the Heart of Anubis. Now, centuries later, fate had given him a chance to atone, and Layla was his key. At the chamber's center stood a pedestal of pure white stone, atop which rested a broken relic, an incomplete twin to the heart. When Layla approached it, the shard shimmered with faint blue light and responded to the fragment hidden in her satchel. She held both pieces together, and for a moment, time slowed. Visions flooded her mind, cities in ruin, stars aligning, the roar of gods in battle, and always, the whisper, "Restore the balance." That night, around the fire, Amunet told them more about the Sons of Set, the ancient cult now reborn, their modern followers more dangerous than ever. They sought the heart not to speak with the dead or protect the living, but to rule both. They had technology powered by stolen relics and a network that spanned continents. Layla and her team were now hunted. The next day, they pressed onward to the Nubian highlands, reaching a valley carved by forgotten rivers. There, hidden among the cliffs, was a sanctuary known only in myth, the Temple of Eternal Balance. Half buried in sand and stone, its golden gates had not opened in over 3 millennia. Amunet whispered a prayer, and the gates responded, grinding open with a sound like thunder beneath the earth. Inside, the team found wonders beyond imagination, floating crystals inscribed with sacred spells, mirrors that reflected not their bodies but their souls, and relics humming with untapped energy. Layla felt a deep hum through her bones as they walked. It was the same hum she'd felt in dreams, the same pull that had drawn her into this journey. In the heart of the temple lay an altar with a message etched in Old Egyptian. "When the shadow rises, so must the flame. Seek the 7 eyes, scattered under heaven's dome." They didn't have time to ponder the riddle. An explosion rocked the temple's foundation. The Sons of Set had arrived. Dozens of masked warriors stormed the gates, armed with relic tech, scepters that discharged lightning, ankhs that twisted gravity. Layla's team fought back, aided by the temple's defenses, which seemed to respond to her presence. Statues came alive, casting divine shields over them. Amunet summoned ancient energy, his body glowing with the strength of his former self. Still, they were outnumbered. In the chaos, Layla was separated, cornered in a small chamber where murals covered every inch of the wall. Her eyes locked onto one, a woman in priestess robes holding a glowing heart aloft, standing between 2 warring gods, Set and Osiris. The woman's face was hers. The realization struck her like lightning. She wasn't just chosen by chance. She was a reincarnation, an echo of the last guardian who had sealed the heart away. Suddenly, the relic in her possession blazed with light. It repelled the attackers long enough for Amunet to reach her side. "Amunet, Vo. It recognizes you. You are the flame." They barely escaped through an ancient passage, the temple collapsing behind them as the heart's power rejected the cult's corruption. Amunet, wounded and weakened, told Layla the full truth. She was the final guardian, destined to reunite the seven eyes of Ma'at. Powerful relics created to counter the chaos brought by Set's followers. The Heart of Anubis was only the first. The next phase of their journey would take them far from Egypt, across the ancient world, to Ethiopia, the mountains of Tibet, the sunken temples of Atlantis, and beyond. Each relic was hidden by one of the seven guardians who had gone into exile to protect them. Each location was guarded by trials designed to test the heart, not just the mind. That night, under a sky alive with stars, Layla sat alone. Her team slept, and Amunet meditated in silence. She looked at the glowing stone in her hand, now pulsing with a warmth she could feel in her chest. This wasn't about history or archaeology anymore. This was destiny, a battle that began before memory, and one that would end with her. To be continued.